Hello everyone. I am happy to bring you a virtual reality speedrun, as you can probably tell from the cam view. So this is The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. This came out a handful of months ago. It's fairly new. Not a lot of runs of this yet, so if you like it, feel free to drop by the Discord link in SRC. Would love to hear from you. But with that said, we'll go ahead and get started.
I'm ready.
So time will be starting in about 3, 2, 1, go. So although you can't tell, I do have chat in my headset. I can see what you're saying. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. We're just going to do a quick tutorial here that teaches us how to navigate the game. And you may have noticed my movements were a bit slow there. I actually have to be slow on that part, or the tools and items I was picking up break if you go too fast for some reason, only in this section of the game. Here we get a quick combat tutorial. Good to note right off the bat, there's a lot of gore, fair bit of cursing, and some murder of the innocents in this game, so wait on our stamina to come back here. Here we get grabbed a couple times. You'll notice I kind of steer the character with my head. There we go. That's just because it's easier to get more accurate directions than with an analog stick. Here we've got the intro to the game, which is it's pretty awesome actually. It's very cinematic, but we're just going to skip through it, of course. And then here in a minute, once it finishes loading, we will get started with the run. So stamina management is pretty important in this run. It's honestly the biggest way to save or lose time, other than dying when you shouldn't. But the way the stamina and health system works is actually pretty unique, and I kind of like it. You can see the two bars right here. The top one is stamina, the bottom one is health. Let me do a couple things here real quick. So yeah, the more stamina you use, the less maximum stamina you can have unless you eat food. And the more food you eat, at least if it's rotten, like food you find in the environment, the less max health you can have, and you have to take medicine to fill that up. So it's kind of a tug of war between having health versus having stamina, or both. The reason I am throwing the knife is not just to show off, it actually uses no stamina, so it's the fastest way to kill enemies. If we don't kill this guy right now, he will come back as a zombie and ruin our day later. And now we're in this hub area. This is where we'll return throughout the game. And so we have infinite stamina here, which is really nice. Gonna grab, you've already seen me grab some random stuff off the ground. The loot in the hub area is not random, it's fixed, which is really nice. It means we can get a stamina upgrade right here before we even do our first quest. And during loading screens, I'll try to recenter myself in the room. But I'm sorry, you were going to say something?
Yeah, I was going to ask if it's a good time to read the donation real quick.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm just going to be recycling some crafting material.
Okay, nice. Thank you. We've got $1 from Flora. Hello, Flora. Saying, how could I possibly not have my boys at show off something? It was a great SpeedCon, even though it was offline. I think online, he meant. And I was happy to show off my run, even though it didn't run as intended. Can't wait for next year's on-site SpeedCon again. Thank you very much, Flora.
Thank you for that donation. Every little bit helps, and we do have an incentive for this run, a bid war, to Yeah, I'm facing the right wall. We do have an incentive for this run, a bid war. So we're going to meet a guy here shortly named Casey. And at the end of the run, we get to decide if he lives or dies. And so I'm leaving that up to you. I think last time I checked, killing him was winning, which I am all for. Was like not a huge margin, though. So you could ruin my day and sway the tides.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Killing is currently in the lead with $20 versus $10 for saving. So if you don't like that Casey is going to be killed, if you want to save Casey, you still have pretty lots of time. So please consider donating and save Casey. Come on.
All right, so here in the first level, we are looking for a microphone to use the radio I just powered on a second ago. Gonna eat some rotten tuna here. You can see now there's red on my health bar. That's kind of that system I was talking about before. Is that food? Yes, that is food. So I do need some stamina here. Is there any? No, nothing over here. Do need some stamina here. This is one of the few real life kind of tricks you can do here. Instead of climbing like a real person would, you can just fling yourself around, which looks ridiculous on the camera, I know, but it is a lot faster. All right, so I picked up the key item, which is glows purple, and get some menuing set up here. Yeah, so I picked up the key item with a microphone, and then I killed myself. So when you pick up a key item, it gets put into your inventory automatically after you drop it. And then when you kill yourself, you get teleported back to where you started, which is conveniently how you get back into the hub area. So now we're going to meet Casey. I'm going to do my best to skip through all the dialogue.
Waterfall.
What'd you do?
Waterfall.
That's not...
Just someone who ain't...
That's supposed to be... You alone?
I'm alone.
That's a lie.
Actually, it's the
Your word.
Not yet.
Maybe. If you... Okay.
I came across a
Does anyone else know?
Just me.
Okay.
I get it.
Your turn.
I came to Nolan.
But look, I don't know...
What about the people who...
I'm telling...
What do you mean by up?
That's,
All right, so this lantern just lit,
the fuck was that?
and we heard a loud noise. So now we're going to go check that out. In case he got spooked, he doesn't want to trust us anymore. Basically, Casey's just, he's in a bad situation. He wants our help, but he has a terrible habit of being really annoying and sending me on quests I don't want to go on, so... But don't worry, we'll talk to him more soon. There we go. So again, just throwing the knife, because if you actually stab them, it takes a lot of stamina, whereas throwing uses none. So we skipped a lot of lore, obviously. We, that old man that was hanging upside down that I killed at the start, he invited us here in the intro to help him track down this thing called the Reserve, which is this supposed military complex here in New Orleans that has like a ton of supplies for survivors. And we contacted Casey over the radio using a military keyword we found in the old man's journal. Casey, presumably, as we'll later find out, is in the Reserve. Then we obviously just went and investigated that loud noise, found a key. That brings us in here. We get a letter from a woman named May. She was working with the old man, getting him info on the Reserve and various things. She thinks we're him right now because she doesn't know he's dead yet. And now we will drink ourselves to sleep like any healthy, functioning adult would. So May gave us a letter. Part of the deal is that he gets her supplies and she tells him where he can find more supplies. So we're going to take advantage of that and go get, well, we're not going to get any of the supplies, obviously, because we don't need them, but we are going to go get some intel from one of the factions that controls this city. There are two, the tower and the, honestly, they're not important for the speedrun, so I've forgotten their name, but basically people that were exiled from the tower and made their own sanctuary. Can't eat liquor, unfortunately. Game says no.
Is it a good time for a quick message?
Yeah, absolutely.
Great, thank you. I would just like to remind everyone that we are raising funds for Save the Children. All your donations go to Save the Children's global COVID response. And every dollar counts, literally every dollar. As little as $1 can make a huge difference. And we're also close, very close to hitting $600. So if you'd like to donate, now is a very good time. Thank you.
All right, so we got the intel, did our classic little, shoot ourselves in the head trick, and now we are back here. Gonna grab that. Actually, now that I think about it, I probably shouldn't have grabbed that yet, so we'll set that down right there. Going the wrong direction. So here's the intel. We have to leave it in that crypt that we got our letter from earlier. And I accidentally read it, so now you get more lore.
Understand? Mama's through fucking around with this. Snag Umbra if you have to. And use the fucking brat as trade bait. This must happen. Going to have to expand this list otherwise. Georgia.
Don't know how audible that was on stream, but curse words and child murder, just the usual.
Hello? It's Casey.
Okay, there's that.
If you're there.
I can hear you.
Yeah,
You've got my attention.
I've been hearing things.
What do you need?
A pump flow.
What else?
Fair enough.
I'm ready to do this.
The pump.
Yep, that's there. Okay, so let me reload real quick. So what Casey just told us is that the reserve is flooding because it's underground and the city's kind of falling apart in wake of the apocalypse. So he needs us to go get and install these pump flow regulators to pump the water out and prevent him from dying. And also, it'll unlock the door once it's no longer flooded. That's got it in a lockdown state right now. And then we can get in and get the things we want.
No one gets inside. Strict orders.
I beg to differ.
Wouldn't be surprised to see Anthony missing his insides by night. I'll take.
Okay. So I'm going to purposefully delay right here because I have accidentally left this level too quickly recently. Yep, there it is. And not gotten the key item, which pretty much breaks the game and makes the run impossible. So for the next few levels, I'll probably wait to teleport just a bit for safety. I actually found a new skip when I was doing a practice run earlier that's going to net us maybe 10 or 15 seconds of free time save coming up. I thought we needed to go back to that crypt and read the next letter from May, but it turns out you don't.
You there, Casey?
Yeah,
Had to deal with some...
this is great.
You're stalling, Casey.
Yeah, yes, the reserve.
I've been working with...
If your May is
What's the rush to get...
starvation.
Starvation.
Yeah, well, look,
Why do you need me to...
well,
I'm willing to take...
oh, fantastic. Well, it's been
Okay, so Casey needs some needs to let his mind chill out before we start trying to assemble this pump flow regulator. So we're gonna sleep real quick, and we don't actually have anywhere to travel today, but we still will use the boat, and I'll explain that when we get there.
Hello? It's Casey.
Are you there? Ready as I'll ever...
Okay, good. So,
We should be able to figure...
I like that attitude. Okay. On the device, you should see a serial number. Read it to me.
47...
Okay, now turn the dial.
Feedback triggered on 55.
Okay, good. 55.
So the reason I'm not skipping his dialogue right here is because you can't.
Should be tuned to 28 degrees.
Valve B...
Perfect. Okay, last valve. One second. There we go. Valve C should be set to 67.
Valve C set.
Awesome. Okay, almost there. Now it says, depress the automatic confirmation mechanism. Looking at the diagram here, it's a big round button. Should be obvious.
All right.
Yes! Oh, and one... All right. Gonna take it.
Enough already.
Okay, my character is usually not that rude. Usually he says I need to take care of something. I don't know where that came from. But by exiting that conversation early, we're actually going to prevent a horde of zombies from spawning in this next area, which means that I don't have to do the tutorial on rubbing guts on myself. Where is my knife? Oh, well, that's really bad. Huh. Okay, I guess we're doing this a different way. Now I'm going to have to go back and watch the footage and figure out how that happened. But anyway, that shouldn't affect us too badly. So usually I would stab this woman. This is May. Usually I would stab her here instead, I guess. We're going to have to do that. We need this key that she just dropped. Need to let my stamina regen. So yeah, half of the story is supposed to consist of you doing missions for her. But, well, since she's dead, we just get to skip all those. Kind of an interesting design they gave this game where you can just kind of do whatever you want with the NPCs. So we're making a small detour here. Okay. I just grabbed a recipe. There are crafting recipes hidden throughout the world in this game. The one I got is a beignet recipe, which gives us a stamina boost until the next time we go through a load zone. So it's pretty handy at the end of the game. When we were in the hub area, you may have seen me grab this stew. It just kind of appears on day 3. I don't know where it's supposed to come from, but it is a full stamina refill, which is really nice. Got really lucky that those zombies went the other direction and I didn't have to deal with them again. So, like I said, we have nowhere to go today since we killed May, but you can only travel to places that you've traveled to an adjacent place. So every time you go somewhere with the boat, you unlock the ability to go to the places next to it. So we're going to do that real quick in order to unlock a place we'll need tomorrow.
While you're doing it, do you have time for another donation?
Yeah, absolutely.
We've got $5 from Codriff saying, "Hi Sam, I'm sad our Prince of Persia 3D race can't happen on site, but I see you found a game that's almost as good. Good luck."
Hey now, This game is not that bad.
Thank you for your donation.
Yes, thank you, Katarov. It's greatly appreciated. And it looks like I'm seeing in chat we've hit the $600 mark. Is that correct?
Oh yes, we did, because we have some more donations actually. We have $16 from Smartlax saying, yes, grab the zombies by the face with your bare hand. That sounds really safe. Also $600, let's go. And we have $9 from Zed saying, bump. Thank you very, very much for all your donations. This is incredible. Keep going.
Well, you know, I don't have a lot of other options when I somehow throw my knife away. But thank you. Yeah, thank you all for the donations. Every little bit helps.
You around?
I'm here, Casey.
I've located another.
What area is
The regulator is. Oh, and I look.
I'll be as cool.
And hey,
You're welcome.
just hit me up when you.
I think you'll be excited to know that the kill and save Casey beat war has got some great developments, and now save is only 1/10 of cent away from matching kill. So we have $20 from kill and $19.99 for saving Casey. And yeah, that's a very delicate balance, I'd like to say.
Yeah, that's an interesting choice, whoever did that. So I went to yesterday in game. I traveled to the wrong place, which will save us time later, but costs us time now. So that's fine. It evens out, and it shouldn't matter in the long run. But it does mean I have to make a little extra trip right here to sleep again. If you notice me like looking up, I'm looking at, down my nose where the little crease in the headset is, so I can tell what direction I'm facing in real life. Thanks, Math. Okay, so now we can actually go to where we were intended to get another pump flow regulator. This level is actually pretty neat and doesn't require the knife, which is handy. Casually, I hated this level because you have to do a fetch quest to get a key to go into this building and do a bunch of stuff, and it's just annoying, but I managed to find a strat where we can basically just ignore all that. Okay, good, that is a soda, even though I got stuck on the environment. So once you let your stamina start recharging, it's fastest to let it go all the way back to the top, because there is there's a wind-up period before it starts recharging. So you want to mitigate how many times that happens. So this is the strat. You just sneak under and run by all those zombies before they see you. We've got a lovely gentleman here. And another one up here. Alright, and this is another level where I'll be delaying to avoid accidentally leaving without that thing I just dropped on the ground. Wait on the... Yep, there it is. So this This next bit without a knife is going to be interesting, to say the least. Just looking on the ground every time I run through here to see if I can find it.
Casey, come in.
Hello. You ready?
Let's do this.
Great. Let's start with the serial number again. Then I can calculate the flow requirement settings, just like the
Can
first
I read
time.
another donation?
5-6.
Yeah, go for it.
Let me look these charts a second.
Okay, we got $5 from, I
Here we
think,
go. Got it.
C.
Set
Weiss
valve
Cup
A to
53,
26.
saying,
Valve A.
in memory of the lost
Valve
knife.
B,
And
A
it goes
to
towards
26 should be set
Kill
at
Casey. So
39.
now Kill Casey
Valve
has
B,
$25,
Valve
while
B.
Save Casey has
Okay, last valve. 1 second,
$19.99. So,
1 second. There we
it's
go.
going,
Valve
it's going,
C
but
should
you
be
can
set
still
to
change it, guy.
67.
Valve C set.
Yeah, press the round button and we'll be calibrated. When this is all over, we should start a plumbing business, huh? The bunker buds.
Sounds like a plan.
Ah, frickin'. Anyways,
I did not listen to that because it's cringe. I listened to that because it is unskippable. So this is why we recycled all that food earlier. Was to craft those 3 things, which will save us a good bit of time over the course of the run. C. Wise Cup is a friend of mine IRL, so thank you, Caden. I appreciate the donation towards killing the worthless NPC. Oh, I'm gonna need my gun. Yeah, wrong thing. There we go. Alright, so coming up here, I have to kill 3 people. Usually I shoot 2 of them in the head and then knife throw the other, because that, if you shoot the 2, you can shoot them quickly enough that the other hasn't started moving yet. But then by the 3rd one, they've started moving, and it makes them a lot harder to shoot. So I usually knife throw because it's got a bit of auto aim attached to it. So let's see what we can do here. That was actually really good. I'm a terrible shot in this game, so I am really pleased with that. I have been told if you just wait long enough, they will saunter off and you don't have to deal with them. So that was going to be my backup plan if they killed me. No, wrong thing. So now we go back and we rest. Should conserve stamina to deal with these guys. There we go. So so we'll go back, we'll sleep, we'll wake up. Casey's gonna annoy us with a terrible fetch quest that doesn't even get a pump flow regulator. Literally just wastes our time. But usually we would wake up and have to travel somewhere to unlock the level he needs us to go to. But since I did that by accident earlier, we don't have to. See, I should be facing this direction.
you there?
Yeah,
Something's really...
I'm game.
I need some info
Where did they need to go?
near Rampart. Honestly, what happened to my friend Cat?
Tell me about your friend.
He was like a big...
What do you mean?
They made a fuck... If you wander up...
So you might have saw me randomly turn left there. What that was about is that you use the right stick to select dialogue options, and because I didn't hold the button down long enough, instead I used the right stick to turn. So the good thing about this level is we can skip it by killing more innocent people, basically. So we're supposed to go talk to this guy's squad mate who's trapped under some rubble and dying. But once again, the game understands that if the guy's dead, you can't talk to him. So once he realizes we're there, we're just, going to shoot him in the head. Go ahead and get my... Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, cool. The bid war is on fire. We have Smathlax donating $5 saying, this bid war gap is not spicy enough. Let me change that again. But we also have $5.02 from me saying, let's spice it up more. And with common efforts, we've got $30.01 to save Casey versus $25 to kill Casey.
Okay, now that's just not acceptable, guys. Come on. We gotta...
Yeah, get that $5.02 in and change it.
If we kill Casey, we get to hear him drown. It's not even like we're just gonna shoot him in the head. Like it's extra brutal. You know you want to see it. Also, Eraser, I just want you to know I see your message. Thank you for forgetting me. There we go. So now we have to go tell... Oh, there we go. Now we have to go tell Casey what happened to his friend and get... we give him a free psychology session
Yeah,
here.
Casey?
Psychiatrist, rather, is what I meant to say.
All your squad. It doesn't matter.
I picked the wrong thing because I was reading chat.
I found Kent.
You did?
He wasn't gonna make.
Oh. Shit.
He wanted me to tell you.
Yes.
Kenneth spilled.
Well,
I know it must be hard.
Yeah, you're right, Taurus. There was a massacre.
Those are just facts.
Okay, quit. The whole thing
You mentioned a hat.
There was this...
Best to assume.
That's exactly...
It all sticks.
You're right, Taurus.
Maybe.
Yeah. Look, Taurus.
There we go. I found out a while back that by being a dick and shaming Casey there, you can make the dialogue in sooner, which is kind of nice. But Eraser, no, of course not. I want you to save him. That means you should donate towards Kill to spite me, surely.
Casey, I have the key.
Good news? No, look, okay, so...
Okay. So we now have everything we need. We are going to go get the final pump flow regulator. We're going to meet a guy. There we go. Named JD. Here we go. He's the leader of the Exiles. And he encourages us to not only kill Casey, but also to destroy all of the supplies in the reserve, because he believes as long as people continue to be scavengers, they're never going to like reestablish society, and that they need to start like settling down and growing crops and all that stuff. We're going to ignore him, of course, but it is technically one of the endings you can choose. Yes, Eraser, I would very much prefer if you chose that, and I appreciate the favor.
You made it?
Okay, we can't kill ourselves yet. We want to make sure at least one of the factions at the final battle has our back. So we're going to go tell the tower that we killed their greatest enemy.
After all the hype, you're not...
You won't have to worry.
The tide... Drop the wax.
I love it when that happens. That's only the second or third time I've ever gotten the gun to hit her in the face. Okay, we're in the home stretch now. We just have to, we don't have to travel anywhere. That was our last boat ride. we have to set up the pump flow regulator, go install it, talk to Casey, and then go through the final battle. So we should be good to go. Really, the only thing I would use the knife for at this point is the zombies in the crypt. But as you've seen, we can just shove them out of the way. Actually, I should save that.
I'm back, Casey. Ready?
Yeah, alive, but
I'm ready.
okay. Serial number first.
749.
All right. Set valve
Wrong
A
direction.
to 38.
Valve A,
Valve B needs to be set at 44.
Valve B, 44.
You're a machine, tourist. Okay, valve C. Set it to 60.
Valve C to 6.
Excellent. Okay.
Okay, so this is kind of where everything we've been doing up to this point culminates. We have the final regulator. To install it, we need the key that we stole from May's dead body. So that's why we killed her, was for this moment. And after that, the reserve will unlock, which will start off a gang war, essentially, between the two factions, because they both really want access to the supplies. So if you remember when we came here to get that key at the beginning, there we go. There was this building on the left here, and it turns out it had a purpose all along. Come on. Okay, there's that. And I'm running into everything. I just clipped through that zombie and I don't know how, but I'm not complaining. But you can see this little icon above my stamina bar. Okay, that really worked to my advantage. That is what the beignet does, and it makes our stamina recharge significantly faster. Doesn't matter right now because we're back in the hub area where we have infinite stamina, but it will matter once we leave this area for the final time. If you want to get last second donations in, we're going to need to close the bid war fairly soon, like about a minute and a half or two.
Casey, come in.
Awesome, tourist.
That's good.
Can I update you on the status of the bid war?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, we have Smufflax with $5.02 actually, saying, honestly, I quite like the idea of hearing Casey drown. Thank you very much for that. But we also have, and it's, I guess, very sad news for all the Casey lovers, we've got $15 from 777 saying, sorry for being late, my dear American foe. I hope this donation will help you in this harsh time of not being able to eat salmon pizza. Hate you with all my love. Thank you very much for that. And now, Killing Casey is in the lead with $45.02 versus $30.01 for saving Casey.
That is wonderful news. Thank you for that. And thank you for the donation, Eraser. I do appreciate it. So these are the people we sucked up to by killing that other guy, which is why they're not attacking us. This battle with no gear is basically impossible, so I'm going to try and cheese it. It goes right about, it works every time about 60% of the time. Yes, we don't need that gun anymore. All right. So that enemy was like wearing full armor and is basically invulnerable. I just can't do anything to them. And we're glitched. Have to wait on myself to start. There we go. And we're glitched again. This usually doesn't happen that often. Rip. So as you're seeing, the flinging yourself around climbing is a little tricky and also glitchy on occasion. Okay, I guess we're gonna have to do this the old-fashioned way. I've had problems with it, but not that many. So I do need to know what the winner of the bid war is now.
I'm here, Casey.
Okay, let me check once again and
What happened with the...
close the bid war. Closed, and we are killing Casey.
Good. Just, no, wrong thing. I almost did the wrong thing there because I'm used to doing that.
What did you do? You fucking psychopath! I trusted you! Oh, I hope you burn in hell! You... No! No, not like this! Not like this!
Gruesome. All right, so now we get to go see the aftermath of that. We'll duck here so that we only have to break this one board instead of multiple boards. So if we had let Casey out, he would be standing right here. Getting some choppiness there, that was weird. Usually I let him out and then I shoot him in the head, but I thought letting him drown would be more fun for the marathon. Some more choppiness, that's weird. So here, there's Casey. Everybody wave to Casey. Time is coming up shortly. It's gonna be when we get in this boat that's just outside. There we go. And time. All right, that was mostly a successful run other than throwing my knife away. So thanks for watching, everyone, and thanks for all the donations. I honestly assumed that we would end the bid war with 0 for both options, so it's a treat that so much money was put into that. If any of you are still feeling generous, I would like to throw a shout out to the final run of the marathon. It might be met by now. There was an incentive for a bonus run for ukulele. If that's not met, I would recommend donating to that. And yeah, thanks everyone. That's going to do it for me.